Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors. It's about 11:16 on Tuesday night, July 30th. The Buccos just pulled out another win in Houston, taking the series. By the time this recording is out, they'll have a chance to get the sweep that afternoon. Right now, everything's looking positive for the Pirates. I would say you get to watch any of this game or follow any of the game tonight.
I saw a little bit. Final score, of course, there's two games in a row against the Astros, 6-2. The Pirates look pretty decent. I'm just excited how, up until the All-Star break and a little bit after right now, they've been on a little bit of a roll, a nice little streak. It's looking pretty good. Again, we've talked about it before. It'd be nice for the Pirates to get some sweeps, which they have during the season. But winning 2 out of 3 is just fantastic as well for them. And I think that as this season is progressing on towards the end of it and to the postseason, I think we're definitely going to see them there. And I'm just, they're just looking really good, over this nice little stretch since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they look great. And a tough part of their schedule. One of the stats I saw that I was even surprised by is they haven't lost 3 games in a row in months, which is
wow.
That's a consistency that you need. I think that talks about that's their pitching has been just so solid. Bailey Falter comes back today after being on the injured list. Throws 5 innings, 5 1/3 innings, I think, but he was on a pitch limit, so they weren't going to keep him in there too much longer than what he had. But he looked great. He ended up giving up 1 run, I believe. They got another runner later in the game. I think that was after he left to get that final score 6-2. It was nice to get it like a more calm win than the last couple days where they've had to come back from 2-0 down and getting some good wins late in games. But I like what they did today, which we're talking about the game, but the big story of the day is the MLB trade deadline. The Pirates made some moves today and last night to bolster their roster, and I think they didn't make anything that'll be earth-shattering, but they made moves that are going to make this team better coming down the stretch with the momentum they've gotten from everyone that's on the roster currently. I think they made some moves that won't affect chemistry at all, really, and then can make this team good down the stretch. So let's just get right into it. Here's the here are the names that they got at this deadline. The first one we can talk about is Brian De La Cruz. They traded 2 prospects for him: Jun-Suk Shim, right-handed pitcher, and Garrett Forrester, a first baseman. They're ranked as the 17th and 18th prospects for the Pirates in their system, according to MLB Pipeline. Shim, specifically, was a pretty noteworthy guy that they got out of Korea. Who, I think at 18, he's got some good pedigree to him, but he really hasn't done too much. He's had a lot of injuries in the minor leagues, so that's part of the reason why I would think they're in Forrester. He was a college guy they got later in the draft, I believe. A couple years ago now, and he's had decent numbers, but age-wise, he's a little old for his league, from what I can tell, and not a guy that they're looking forward to being like some stud down the stretch. But De La Cruz is the main thing here. He's an outfielder. He's 27 years old, and he'll be under control through 2026. They got him this. That might be actually be 2027. Actually, that might be wrong there. I think they have him for 3 years after this year. He had he currently has a 245 average. The big thing here is 18 home runs so far this season, which will put him right near the leaderboard of the Pirates team. And he fills a hole. The Pirates corner outfielders have been abysmal throughout the season, and even though his numbers are about league average, that power number is above average, but overall his numbers aren't like overly impressive offensively. He's going to be a big boost compared to what they've gotten so far this year.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a great pickup. I wanted to ask, I know it says that he's an outfielder. What is it? I'm guessing just all outfield, or does he have a specialty left, right, center?
So from what I understand, he's not the greatest outfielder. So he's more of a corner guy. He'll probably be right field for the Pirates down the stretch here. He played a lot of DH actually for the Marlins too. I think he had like 50 games at DH. So he's not going to wow you in the outfield, but he's good enough to put out there in right field, and especially at PNC Park where it's a little shorter. As long as he can learn how to use the Clemente wall, he should be fine there.
Okay. And yeah, it looks like he definitely has, a nice little average, about 18 home runs. So that's, definitely a little bit of a boost right there for the offense. And of course, 51 RBIs. I think that this is definitely a great pickup for them, definitely for the offense for sure. Like you said, I mean, maybe he's not the best for, the outfield, but he can definitely help on the offense with getting some hits, maybe some home runs and, it's just some scores, some runners to score, while he's up at bat, to help, boost that offense for sure. So this definitely looks like a great pickup for sure for the Pirates.
Yeah, and two of the big things is they didn't have to give up a top 10 prospect, and he's a guy who's only 27 years old, and he can play. He'll be on the roster for the 3 years following this year. So there's some value, even if they can't make it to the wild card this year. They got him for next year as they continue to go with this rebuild and everything and get back into playoff contention.
Yeah, the age is definitely a great factor as well because the Pirates definitely are a young team, and this guy still is pretty young, and that's great to just still have that youth on the team to kind of help with being able to play consistently throughout the season. So this is definitely looks like a great pickup for sure.
Mm-hmm. So next up we got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. We got him from the Blue Jays. The trade was straight up trade. Kiner-Falefa for Charles McAdoo, a prospect in the minor leagues. I think he was ranked a little lower in the 20s, but he's going to probably he would have gotten a boost to like around 15 at MLB Pipeline. So he's had a decent year. McAdoo has. He's another guy who was a college guy that got drafted, and he's performed really well. He's at Double-A at the moment, I think. But Kiner-Falefa, he's a utility guy. He can play infield mostly, but he does play some outfield. 29 years old. He's under team control through next year at only $7.5 million, which isn't bad for a free agent pickup there. So far this year, he is on the IL now, but he's on his way back. He's already doing some rehab in the minor leagues, so he'll be back soon. He's batting .292, 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. He's not going to be a big power guy, but he is an elite defender all over the field. So this is a guy who not a lot of people were talking about for the Pirates, but he fills a need, especially with the injuries they've had the last couple weeks. He's going to fill a good role. He's probably going to be at second base to start, and then once Nick Gonzalez comes back, maybe we'll see him shifting around a little bit. Maybe we'll see Nick Gonzalez shifting around. Play. Who knows what they'll do, but Kiner-Falefa will be in the lineup for most of the games, I would say.
And you were saying that the utility guys, so that's pretty much he can kind of just go around pretty much throughout the whole infield, outfield, just kind of play different positions. You were saying?
Yeah, I think it was a few years ago with the Yankees. He played every position but catcher during the season. Yeah, so he can play it all. He's a very good defender, especially in the infield. Outfield, I have not heard him being a poor defender out there, so I assume he's great out there too. But the other catch here is he's actually got some relation to Ralph Kiner, the Hall of Fame Pirate from back in the day.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely a great little pickup to get somebody who's like a Swiss Army knife, for the field,
Yeah.
and to be able to play in multiple positions. It's definitely helpful in case there is an injury and somebody goes down, that he can pick up the slack for that position as well. So it's great to have a guy like this. He maybe looks like he's better for the defense than he is offense, but so far with these two trades that the Pirates have right here, from what we're seeing, this is definitely two great pickups, one offensive and one defensive player for sure. I think that again, like you said, they didn't have to give up much to get a guy like this, and he is 29 years old, it says, and so it's still pretty young, and and it's definitely again going to be helpful for the team in the future for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good pickup, and he has had a better year this year offensively than in previous years too. So that maybe he can keep going with that, and it's not just going to be the defense. But I think you're right. The defense is the main thing with him, and just the versatility. Derek Shelton loves to have a guy with versatility.
Yeah.
You'll hear him talking about it in a little bit here. I got a little clip of him talking.
Okay.
But they did make two more trades. Well, the two trades yesterday, meaning Monday night, the 29th. That have a pretty good relevance. So the first one was picking up a left-handed relief pitcher, Jalen Beeks. They gave up a left-handed prospect named Luis Peralta, who I think may have been ranked. Yeah, for some reason I want to say 12, but that doesn't sound right to me. I think he was further down than that. But he's a nice little solid prospect, but nothing that is earth-shattering. Not one of the big guys that they can't lose. Another top 10 guys for sure. But Beeks is a left-handed relief pitcher, as I said. 31 years old. He will be a free agent this offseason. So far with the Rockies, he was 6-4 with a 4.74 ERA, 38 Ks, 49.1 in 49.1 innings pitched. His numbers aren't great right here, but he's had success in the past, especially with the Tampa Bay Rays. And he just adds more depth to the bullpen. They're not going to look for him to be a guy who steps in and has a major role. He's just going to be another guy who can work against some lefties, get some lefties out. Right now, it's just Aroldis Chapman back there, so he's a guy that they can bring into this and just add depth, I think, in the bullpen.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. Again, in case of injury, to kind of fill in and pick up the slack, for, relief pitching for us. Like I said, it looks like he's 31, still pretty young. Again, the stats aren't the greatest, but it's definitely a lot better than what's going on. And you were saying that we gave up a prospect pick. Is that correct? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, he's another prospect. He's actually the brother of Freddie Peralta. Some people may know him. He's a pitcher with the Milwaukee Brewers. Who's a pretty good pitcher there.
Okay, and I mean, just to get somebody else. I mean, again, you don't know how a lot of these prospects are going to be anyway, but again, just to be able to get somebody to come in and kind of fill up that roster and the depth, to kind of help. I think this is definitely a decent pickup for sure during the trade.
Yeah, and the prospect Peralta, I'm seeing his upside as more like of a reliever himself. He's not going to be most likely he's not going to be a starter, especially with the Pirates with the depth they've had. I think that it's a guy you can give up. Maybe you don't like giving him up, but it's something that's you got to do moves like these if you want to contend.
Yeah,
down the stretch, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the one major put in quotes trade from this week, they picked up Nick York, who is a second baseman and corner outfielder, currently 22 years old. He was the Red Sox number 6 prospect. They're going to actually put him in AAA to start, but they traded away. That's an error there. They traded away Quinn Priester for him. So that trade, it was you don't see them a lot. It's 2 young guys. Priester's only 23 years old. He hasn't had much success in the majors for the Pirates so far, but he was great in the minor leagues. He's shown some flashes this year, but overall he just gets hit a little too hard. So this is kind of the move that has some risk reward to it, because you're getting a guy back who's had a really good season in the minor leagues for in New York. But you're taking a risk on Quinn Priest. You're giving up on a guy who's 23 years old. For example, whenever Mitch Keller was 23, he had like a 7 ERA in the major league. So there is some concern that maybe you're giving up on a guy too early. But like we've said before, the Pirates have pitching depth, and you're getting a guy back at second baseman, a corner outfielder that can hopefully fill and be a starter for the Pirates for like 6 years or so.
Yeah, and again, just to pick up, he's again we've talked about, but just for a number 6 prospect, I mean, I think that's a pretty definitely a good player, a good pickup for sure. Again, like you said, you don't want to see them get rid of a guy too early, because you never know how things could play out. But the guy is pretty young still. Give him some time down in AAA just to kind of see how he's going to be. Could be definitely somebody that could give some spark to the Pirates maybe late in the season, or beginning of next season, just depending on when they decide to bring him up. Um, Again, definitely another pitcher to bring in for sure, just to kind of help and give with that rotation what we have. And I think
he's a second baseman and outfielder. So
okay, sorry.
they
But to
traded
get
away.
rid of the pitcher, I'm sorry, to get rid of the pitcher that you don't know what's going to happen, but this guy could definitely fill in for the defense for sure. If it's depending on injuries and things like that, and how he plays down in AAA. So this will definitely, I think this will definitely be helpful. He's young, and he could definitely help fill in spots when needed. I think the Pirates did well picking 2 offensive and 2 defensive guys during this trade, and it doesn't even look like we gave up too much for the players we picked up. Again, you would like to see some more bigger, maybe some more blockbuster trades, but I think this is definitely helpful. They got some youth on the team, and definitely some players that can fill in spots when needed, going down the stretch and in the future for the team.
Yeah, they were able to make some moves without giving up any guys that you really would grind your teeth to and be worried about getting rid of. Here were some more minor trades that did happen today. They did trade away Martin Perez, starting pitcher who has struggled lately. They got a Dominican summer league guy, 18-year-old left-handed pitcher, Ronaldez Jimenez. He's pretty much a lottery ticket. It's, hey, get lucky. Maybe he turns into a great player. Apparently, they're excited to get him. The next trade was a prospect for prospect trade, which you don't see a lot between the Pirates and the Orioles. They traded right-handed pitcher Patrick Riley for outfielder Billy Cook. I looked a little bit into Cook. He looks like he's having a good season, but I don't know too much about him off the top of my head. And right now, he's not going to have any effect on this season. I don't think so. And then the final one was with the Mets. They traded for a left-handed relief pitcher. I think Josh Walker. I put that down there, but it's too small to see. They gave up a prospect that I honestly don't know too much about. Either another real left-handed pitcher. But those are 3 minor trades just to fill out the thing. There's not much to go on there, but I do have Derek Shelton and comments on the trades that we did make the last couple of days.
Okay. So, I mean, we spent most of the year with just Chappie, and Chappie's pitched in the 7th, 8th, or 9th, and we had Baraki earlier in the year, and he's been down with an injury, so just being able to add another guy into the mix really helps us.
You got to look at him when he was here. He talked about getting a save against you guys, but excited to be with your group. So how excited are you to have his left-handed arm in there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a guy that he started his career in Tampa, or pitched in Tampa, and has pitched a lot of meaningful innings, and knows how to get people out. So it's a good addition for us.
Josh Walker brings some depth to you guys. What do you like with him?
With Josh Walker? Yeah, I mean, it's another big left-hander that, 6'6", has the ability to get up to 95, 96. I think any time when we can add optionable depth and it's a left-handed pitcher into the group, we're going to be able to do that. And it's nice to be able to just continue to add.
Is it to be able to add a guy like Isaiah Kiner for left? He's played a lot of meaningful baseball for us.
I think it's huge for us. I mean, number one, if you talk to anybody about him, they're going to tell you that he's probably one of the best teammates they've ever been a part of. I mean, this guy's played all over the field. I mean, he started his career as a catcher, has won a Gold Glove, has played third, has played second, has played the outfield. I mean, I think you guys know how much I love versatility within a player, but to add a versatility, and then, he's having a really good offensive year on top of it, which is something that was important to us.
And then David Cruz also adds another bat to you guys. What do you like with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's got 18 pumps. I mean, a guy that has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, a guy that is both guys under control. So we're talking not only for this year, but for future. We talked about wanting to lengthen out our lineup, and I think we've shown, we were able to do that.
The team's obviously on his way out now. Can you just talk about the value that he provided while he was here?
Tremendous value. I think the value from Martin is not only on the field but off the field, and I really appreciate, he and I spent some time together in Minnesota together, the willingness for him to come here and be part of our group. And I think the thing that really stands out for me is after we got through the emotional part of when you trade someone and go through it. The commentary that he had about our group of young players and what he felt about them and how he felt they have developed, and even suggestions of continued growth for them, not only for myself but for other players. I think that just speaks to the quality of human beings.
Yeah, so that's Shelton there. I think he summed it up really well for us. I mean, they didn't make any like blockbuster trades, but I think they just made their team better.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, there's a lot of positive vibes going on with their team. I think last time we talked, I was really down, and then they've just been turning it around. And hopefully, they can stick to it. This is a tough stretch coming up. They play the Diamondbacks this weekend. They then go and play the Padres, Dodgers, Padres. So it's a West Coast stretch against some good teams that if they can survive it, they're going to be in a good spot. It's teams ahead of them, especially the Diamondbacks and the Padres. They're two teams that are ahead of them in the wild card. They got 9 games coming up against the two of them, and you win 6. You go 6-3 there. You're probably going to be in the wild card slot after that stretch.
Yeah, definitely tough, like you said. But they have been looking, pretty good. And Derek Shelton just seems excited to kind of see how this team is going to be moving forward with the picks that they picked up or not the picks, but the trades they made during this trade deadline. I think it definitely helps improve the team for sure. I think that, if, they can go 6-3, they're definitely in that wild card spot. I think they can do it with the players that they have and with the ones that they made the trades for. I think will definitely help fill up depth and positions during different games and help in different spots when needed. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season is going to go for them. Again, if they can at least win 2 of 3 every series. Of course, we want to see sweeps, but if they can at least win 2 of 3, I think that they're definitely going to be into that postseason, and I think they're going to be the team that could be a dark horse moving forward into that postseason if they get in. I think just with the talent they have at pitching, and as the team has kind of come along together. Up until that All-Star break, and now after it, I think they're kind of finding themselves into a groove, and they've gotten themselves into a nice little, routine with how they have been playing, and I think that they are going to be a team that is going to be scary moving forward if they make it into the postseason.
Yeah, their pitching staff will match up with anyone, and no one's going to be excited to go up against them in a 3-game series, a 5-game series, or even a 7-game. I just think they have the top of the pitching staff has been great, and they got depth throughout it. You're looking at Bailey Falter is probably your number 5 guy now after the way Luis Ortiz has played, and then at the top you have Keller and Skeens and Jones. It's exciting. It's exciting, and it's allowed them to make the trades they did, where they traded away a little bit of pitching depth in Perez and Priester, and but they're still going to be looking good going forward. I am excited to see how August goes. This is going to be a tough month, but I think they can get through it, and they can make the playoffs if they do so.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see, I guess.
Yeah, we shall see.
3 steel footballs have represented the lasting memories left by each member of the Hall of Honor, and this year's class adds countless more. First for induction is Casey Hampton. The former first-round pick out of Texas anchored the middle of the Steelers' defense for 12 seasons.
That's Casey Hampton firing through and dumping him.
A premier run stuffer, Hampton lived up to his nickname Big Snack by devouring double-team blocks and ball carriers.
He has arms like legs and legs like people.
The Steelers' co-team MVP in 2005, Hampton was highly regarded as an elite talent in Pittsburgh's 3-4 scheme, as shown by his 5 Pro Bowl appearances.
It's the Big Snack. He gets half that sack.
Also to be inducted is Jason Gilden. Primarily a special teamer in his first 2 seasons out of Oklahoma State, Gilden replaced Kevin Green in 1996 and never looked back. His 77 sacks, 58 tackles for loss, and 18 forced fumbles are all still top 10 marks in team history.
We're on a mission, baby. On a mission. Ain't looking back. Ain't looking back.
If you blink, you might miss the next player in this year's class.
With the football for the first down is fast Willie Parker. That boy is extra fast. There is no substitute for speed.
Speed was Willie Parker's game, and the former undrafted rookie used it to amass his 5,378 career rushing yards, which is third all-time in Steelers history.
Who can make a play? I can. Who can make a play? I can. Who can make a play?
He also ranks third in 100-yard rushing games with 25, 7 of which came in Parker's historic 2006 campaign.
Willie Parker, a masterpiece.
The final inductee was the mastermind behind the zone blitz scheme.
Everybody focus in and settle down.
Dick LeBeau coached 16 seasons in Pittsburgh, first as a defensive back coach, then coordinator during the height of Blitzburg.
Finish it now. Use your head now.
LeBeau would return in 2004 to call the defense for the next 11 seasons. During his time, the Steelers had a defensive renaissance, boasting a top 10 defense 11 of his 13 seasons as coordinator. Under LeBeau's tutelage, the team produced 16 Pro Bowlers, 6 first-team All-Pros, and 3 Hall of Famers. His defenses were the cornerstone of 2 Super Bowl winning teams.
And Super Bowl 43 is history.
LeBeau will always be remembered for the love shared between him and his players. These 4 men have represented the traditions of wearing the black and gold. 4 men of steel, added to the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor.
Does that give you goosebumps, Lee, watching that video?
Wow, just watching that was fantastic. Yeah, that gives me goosebumps. Just reminiscing on the times with all them playing. Oh man, that's just fantastic just to see those guys again out there. That's amazing just for them to get inducted into the Hall of Honors for the Steelers. Just 4 great, 3 great players and 1 great coach. Fantastic.
4 great players, maybe not with the Steelers, but he was a great player himself.
Oh yeah, 4 great players. I'm sorry, yeah, 4 great players. Yeah, may not have been for the Steelers, but yeah, 4 great players. Just fantastic. Just to, that we had guys like that on the team. 2 defensive guys, the defensive coach who was just fantastic, and Fast Willie Parker. I mean, who still has a Super Bowl record and Super Bowl 40. So just great to see guys like that being inducted into our Steelers Hall of Honor for sure.
So yeah, that was narrated by Larry Richard, and the video was courtesy of Pittsburgh Steelers. They had there's like a 30-minute clip on their page. I cut that up a little bit to make it a little shorter for us. But yeah, the 4 names, 4 guys who made their mark not only on the Steelers but on the league, especially with Dick LeBeau. I mean, that zone blitz scheme revolutionized defensive play, and and then you have Willie Parker, one of the fastest running backs to come in as a Steeler, and he just came on the scene. Great undrafted guy who just comes on and shows what you can do if you get a shot. He was just a guy. If you have speed and you can get a shot in the league, you're gonna find your way into some greatness, I guess. And Jason Gilden, great linebacker, fit the LeBeau scheme great. And then Casey Hampton. I mean, I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer. I don't know what you think about him, but I think he's a great player, and one of the top 2-3 defensive tackles of his time. Those tackles of his time.
Yeah, for sure. Just great, talent with all 4 of those guys. It's good to see them being honored and mentioned into to the Steeler Hall of Honor. Hopefully, we can see Casey Hampton down the road. Maybe one day at Canton as well.
Yeah, I think Hampton's going to be a tough call for the Hall. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I think he's a guy that I think his impact on the games
Mhm.
is a little it's easy to undersell just because you're in the grind of being in that the trenches there. But I would like to see him get in the Hall of Fame personally.
Yeah.
But let's get past the past, I guess, and we can talk. Training camp's on. Today was the first day of pads, and Tomlin addressed the media. Talked a little bit about a couple injury situations. Roman Wilson actually was carted off the field today, and then gave a little update on Russell Wilson. But here's Tomlin and his Tomlinisms.
Okay.
Adds a lot of spirited work. Certain things we really want to see in this environment. You guys know that backs on backers is always a featured drill. Really, we're just trying to check the mentality and the technique of the runners, man. You're not afforded the opportunity to warm up the quarterback protection. And so we're always interested in how that group represents itself in that drill. I thought they did a really nice job. I thought it was a good start. A lot of ebb and flow, man, a lot of quality work. We'll keep doing that, man. This tape is gold from a teaching and learning perspective. And so I'm excited about having the opportunity to put it on this afternoon and start that process and the effort to have more clarity and better performance tomorrow. We just keep pushing forward. It was unfortunate we had an injury today, man. Roman hurt his ankle on a tackle, and so we'll have more information regarding the length of his status in terms of how long he might be out.
From what I've understood, it's going to be a couple, or not couple. It's going to be multiple weeks. It's not going to be something that's like 1 or 2 weeks. It is going to be a little bit of an extended break for Roman Wilson, which is tough for him in trying to get Phil into the receiver slot that is open. There's definitely going to be an open battle, but he not only being a rookie now, he's got the injury, so he's probably a little bit behind the other guys coming in now.
Yeah, it's disappointing to hear. And again, we've talked about that wide receiver room, just not really having that one big key, wide receiver one really. And, just to lose another wide receiver, it's not really helping the team, but so, the guys that we have are going to have to step up. Again, we still have time for some, type of big move that can be made before preseason and regular season starts, but hoping for a full recovery from the guy and he can get back on track to wherever he was at to get back to playing and starting for the team.
This tape is gold. That's a new one from Tomlin too,
Yeah.
right? I don't think I've heard that one from him yet, but that's something,
Yeah.
I guess.
I got a little chuckle out of that one. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Russ getting back to action today. We had him in the helmet. He played some 7-on. Got a little 11-on-11 work, not a lot. We'll keep progressing with that throughout the week and moving forward, obviously with the mindset of no steps backwards as we do so. Regular bumps and bruises associated with play. Nothing new to mention with Rodney Williams, man. He's still out with that shoulder. It's probably days, but we'll see. We'll keep monitoring it. I know he's chopping at the bit to get back into the fold. Man, there's a finite amount of work out here, man. It's a limited opportunity in today's NFL, and so availability is big. Guys got to get back. Guys have to stay up. It's just a component of this time of year as they work to state a case for themselves and sort themselves out. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
Mike, what did you learn about Justin Fields in pads today that you haven't seen from him so far?
I don't know that, attire created any new learning from a quarterback perspective in terms of evaluating them. He's been doing a really good job and continued today.
So, to your point about Russ, so no steps back, just trying to move forward. He's going to acclimate him slowly as this week goes along.
We'll play it day to day and play it by ear and do what's appropriate on a day-to-day basis. Yes.
How much is Russ able to kind of dictate how much work he does? Is it something that you guys are implementing, or is he able to raise his hand and get in there?
I'm slowing down the progress, and I think I've been pretty clear with you guys about that.
Like you mentioned, the mentality and what you like from the running backs and backs and backers. What you see, pros, cons about the pass rushers?
If there's a winner, somebody's got to be a loser. That's just the nature of this thing in Steelers versus Steelers. And so I'm not, overly alarmed in that. I'm sure the next time we do the drill, the rushers will represent themselves well in the bounce back. It's going to be ebb and flow in an environment like this. And so, I'm less concerned about some of those things as we stand here today. I was really excited. That's not something that the backs need to warm up to, and that's why I was excited about their performance.
When you look at the offensive linemen that are coming in as rookies, what have you seen from their progress in camp so far?
They've come in really good shape, man, and ready for work, and that's a really good place to begin. They're tireless workers in terms of what they're willing to do off the grass in the classroom, and I think that just tees them up for quality reps. And so we'll just keep rolling the ball out and getting a look at them, but I like what they've done thus far.
Anyone else? All right.
Man, you know I did. I'll take it however it comes, as long as it's not lightning, because we get an opportunity to work. If it was raining today, then it's ball searching and ball security as an emphasis. We're an outdoor sport. We play in a lot of circumstances, and I'm open to all of that during team development.
Did the weather and field condition all affect the number of reps Russ was able to take?
No.
All right.
For the first day of Pies, how satisfied were you with the
Last one.
Satisfied is a dangerous word this time of year. I don't know that I can relate to that. All right, Coach. Thanks, guys.
So he went through a lot there, hit a lot of positions. Anything stick out to you there?
He's back. That's all I gotta say. He's back.
Yeah, he's back. that last one there was an all-timer.
Yeah. He's back. That's all I gotta say. He's back and ready to go. He's in full form for the season. He seems like he's pumped and ready to go. He's ready to go.
Yep. And Russ talked about his injury here, so we can pull some of him up real quick and get some words from Russ.
All right.
We were doing a sled push thing and just got tweaked it a little bit. So, just working hard, and sometimes things happen. But the good news is that I feel good, and we'll get there when the time. And good thing is I'm getting a lot of the mental reps and throwing stuff on the side and in post practice and all that as well.
This was a game day. Could you go in?
There's a game. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Okay.
There's no doubt.
First, a little disappointing. Your debut was so anticipated out here.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were fired up to.
Yeah, I love practice. I hate missing practice. I hate not being out there. That's always been a thing for me. My whole career is practice. So, that's why being super intentional, still getting all the plays, seeing everything, walking through everything, still doing everything I can, even after practice, coming out here and getting extra work and whatever it may be. And so the great news is that we've got a lot of time with the guys in the off season. So I feel really confident with the guys that we have and the guys that we're throwing to and guys, playmakers and everything else. And so, the good thing is it's great because I get to go through a little adversity. You get to respond to it, and that's really the reality. And I think for me, I've always been able to respond to adversity in the right way. The good news is that, once again, I feel good and getting there every day.
Mike talked about
Russ, how fast can you get back?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get back yesterday, but coach is like, listen, we got time, and we're still, and I got a lot of reps in the offseason, so we're not just trying to rush it. We got, I say we got 21 games, 20 to 21 games to play. And somebody said we got to have you for 17. I'm thinking 21, possibly 20. First place, but that's just got to be the mentality you have, and so we're just, I'm excited to get the work every day. The guys are doing a tremendous job of learning and studying and all the bonding we're doing. We were sitting out on the porch last night just talking, having fun. Those are the kind of moments that you cherish, and I'll be back sooner than later.
So yeah, I mean, it's still a little crazy that he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Just watching him there, it's just like, oh wow. He says all the right things. He's going to tell you everything you want to hear, but I think it's good to know that his calf injury is not something serious. Any other takeaway you got from what he was saying there about his injury and team camaraderie?
He just seems like he's ready to get out there and play too. He seems excited to be a part of this team, and he just seems like he likes the guys that are around him, and he's all for Mike Tomlin, and he just seems like he's ready to play. He wants to be Russell Wilson again. I'm excited to see when the season actually starts. We got the preseason coming up pretty soon. He's not going to get too many reps there probably, but they may save him till the season, just depending on the injury and how the full recovery is coming along. But I think he's ready to go. I think he's ready for the season to start, and he's probably really looking forward to that week 2 in Denver. So we'll see what happens.
And he finishes off by talking a little bit about Justin Fields and his opportunity here.
Justin facing some adversity as well. Justin faced some adversity as well as you yesterday, getting the text early 6 a.m. that he was going to be running with the ones. We saw you out there. What was your approach kind of the last 2 days, having to kind of hang back and be able to maybe help him a little bit through that adversity as well?
Yeah, I think communication, I think leadership's everything, talking to the guys, not just him, but also the other quarterbacks as well, but then also the receivers, O-line, just keeping the energy high. I'm a big believer in high energy, positivity, uplifting, communication, the extra work afterwards, before as well. Finding those moments, those little moments that maybe become a big moment in a big game, and those things add up. And so the role doesn't change in terms of leading and thinking and processing every play and the protections and all that. All that matters, and that's the best way to learn sometimes too. Is you do it physically, and then you also, when you're not in, whether if I'm going or not, you take those reps in. And that's even when I'm watching the scout team on defense or offense or whatever it may be. I'm just watching the defense. I'm studying, and that's the fun part about practice, is you got 2 hours of learning to do, and then you get to do it in the film room, and you keep going the next day.
So as you've been doing mental reps, how's Justin been doing? As you've been watching, how's he been executing what you've been seeing?
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's every play he's going against a really good defense. So every day, there's some really great plays, and there's plays that he responds, back to, and this and that. So that's the part of practice, and he's doing a good job. He's a really good competitor. He's he processes as well, and he's a tremendous young talent for sure.
So, like you were just saying, he's not going to be playing. Russell's not going to be playing a lot in the preseason, so we're going to get a look at Justin Fields. He's getting a shot right now with the ones, and he's going to get even more chances during preseason to get out there and show what he can do.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he's going to come out there and play as well with them. I'm still shocked. We still haven't really seen much of him, speaking, and talking to the reporters about things, but. Maybe he's maybe he's not the talking type, and but it'll be interesting to see when he's out there, get more reps, and then during the preseason, just to kind of see how he's going to come along.
I know he did speak a little bit. I didn't pull it myself, but yeah, if maybe we can make sure to bring something up for next week through training camp, so we can get a little bit from him. But that's more my fault than his this time around, I think.
Oh, that's all good. No, that's all good.
Yeah. But the first game, Friday, August 9th, right around the corner, Texans at Steelers. It's on the NFL Network, which is nice for anyone outside of Pittsburgh that wants to see the game. But I'm excited to see how this season goes. We've got a lot of excitement in the town right now. We've got training camp for the Steelers. We've got Pirates playing good ball in the wild card race. Should be a fun September.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun October, hopefully, for the Pirates and for the Steelers. But if you don't got anything else, Lee, I think I'm ready to go for tonight too.
I got one more thing.
Yep.
Just the medal count for the Olympics right now. The USA have the most with 26 right now, 4 golds, 11 silver, 11 bronze. So hopefully they can boost some of them golds up. But
yeah, I was about to say they're going to turn up the goals. I know at least a couple days ago, Japan had 6 at least. So there's one place that is ahead of us in golds. I think China had 5 when I looked too. But that was I think it was yesterday, but it could have been the day before. And so I'm sure they've gotten a couple more now too.
Yeah, so hopefully they can, the USA can, get some more golds coming forward. But I think the women's gymnastics just won the team gold for the USA. I think it was today, so that's pretty good. Shout out Simone Biles for being just so talented, So, and what's crazy is, I guess now we have adopted Snoop Dogg as our mascot for the Olympics. He's just all over the place. I think it's just hilarious just to see him out there.
It really is crazy. It started with him hanging with Martha Stewart, and then it's just turned into something where this guy who's supposed to be this great big gang. I know he's supposed to be. I'm sure he was some gangster growing up, and now he's just all over the TV. It's just, I guess, it's fun to see. It's a cool story. It's a cool story arc.
It is
character arc for Snoop, but you're right. Simone Biles. I mean, I don't have a clue about gymnastics, but I just keep hearing about how they're changing the way they score because of how great she is.
Yeah,
and, she's got this Olympic here. Probably going to be the last one she gets to go through. I don't know. Maybe she's great enough that she'll be able to make it in 4 years, but we'll see.
We'll see for sure. But hopefully USA can get some more golds, and we'll see how the rest of the Olympics go.
Yep. USA.
Right.